a lot pushed forward towards the trucking industry. The recession was too strong in that. So we had to move on to other departments. We moved to mining out in BC. These are both from the BC area. And back to Advantage Pressure Pro's original market, in the RV market, we marketed to some places like that's the cooking ladies. They actually drive their RV across Canada, promoting their cooking books and cook in different areas. Since then, in the last year or two, I purchased the company in 2007, straight out from my uncle's company. We operated it then as a product line, which I purchased, and opened it as a full-fledged business in the middle of the recession. At that point, I had a dream to move it forward and move the existing unit as it was to be a networking unit. So I took the existing unit, which would only monitor one single truck, would let you know about let the driver know what was going on. And I took my computer skills and enhanced it so we could now network them. So now the management could sit in their office and be able to view all of their trucks at one time and know exactly what the tire pressures were, view the graphs, and check what their history was. And that was the kind of defining moment which moved it to being a true solution for a fleet. And that was the difference between having a toy and to making it a tool that management would use. So I abandoned the trucking industry at that point a little bit and moved more towards municipalities and kept up with the mining. We're now on plow trucks in Peterborough, buses in Kingston, and the buses here in the GRT runs the units with the networking version so that they're able to check all the buses at one point and be able to see what is going on with their tire pressure, monitor it, get reports, and whatnot. As well, from there, we also actually have done some mining in South America, Russia, and right through Australia. And so it's really become an international business thanks to the power of the internet. And even though I've never been able to go yet, it's all been over email and whatnot. It is something that's been fantastic. I want to talk a little bit from where we're going to go from here, I guess. My focus now is definitely on making sure everything is extremely user-friendly. The user-friendliness I can't stress enough. I mean, we probably all come from something, technical backgrounds. We always have to make sure you're designing it for that end user, and they're going to use it. Also, I get a lot of requests to put this in very remote locations, which work great for that location. But a lot of these mining operations are global. I need to upgrade the networking system to be able to go into the most remote locations, either by satellite or by other means of telecommunications. And then I've also been looking into researching to incorporate more telematics into the system. Braking systems create heat, which affect the tires. Engines, transmissions, and whatnot can cause problems with the tires. A system is not only the tires. We're monitoring the tires, but the whole system has to work together. And when we learn how to use that better, and we can put that into our markets, we can put that into our systems and our software to better expand this. And then now that the recession seems to be ending, I'd like to reopen into the trucking market. And of course, concentrate on our research and development and expanding the products and for different products. Now, the company, not only we manufacture the industrial TPMS, we call it, for the mining industry, but we also sell many different products that have to do with green products, tire maintenance, fleet maintenance, right from engine oil additives down to wheel nuts that will help the fuel economy or help the tire life. I want to guess, looking back, as I was going through this, I kind of looked back to see what helped me, where did I go right in this. I went wrong many times. We had our issues, and every business has its ups and downs. But where did I go right? One of the biggest things I find is a big help was aligning with other business owners. I've been to Chamber of Commerce meetings, just have other friends who've become entrepreneurs themselves and have developed a network of other business owners. They might be in completely different industries than I am, completely different markets, but they're doing things similarly. They might be writing contracts. They might be developing pricing in a certain way. And discussing that and talking with each other has brought to light a lot of things that I could do differently in my industry. And that's probably been the biggest help of all. Even little things like learning about GST, learning when to pay that is a big thing that you can learn from other business owners. Seeking professional help and not just mental help. A lot of help can come from a patent lawyer or an accountant is a big help in keeping your business going. When you start out, I know personally I thought a couple $100 I could save is a couple $100 in my pocket, but it would take me 2 or 3 days to prepare my books at least. And looking back, that's a lot of time and a lot of money that I could have saved by going to somebody else. And so now that's one of the things I definitely do. Always go to the professionals first. If you bring in the right people, you actually save money rather than trying to save a few bucks by going cheap. And I found that focusing on integrating my products with what the customer already is doing is the key. I could bring this to them all day and they could think it's a great thing, a great tool, but if it doesn't incorporate exactly how they're doing their business today, it's not going to be adopted very easily. And we've had, even though people have bought them, the campaign I don't feel is successful if they don't use it every day. And the only reason they'll use it every day is by incorporating it to their current systems. So to customize software or customize reports so that tire manager it'll automatically print or email him every morning has been a big upgrade in what is already being done. By not having to change their systems or their way of doing things, it's just making their life easier. And that's what was the key to some success. And the last thing I can say is learn from our surroundings. And if you can't learn from your surroundings, you need to expand your surroundings. One thing I found that just in the travels going from coast to coast in this country, that so many things are different. Just earlier this week, we drove 7.5 hours to Sault Ste. Marie. And the country will change so much in 7.5 hour drive. And the country is so vast and there's so many different places and things where people do things differently that we can all learn from these different ideas and aspects. And everybody has their way of doing things, and not saying one's right or one's wrong, but there definitely could be ways to learn from these surroundings, I like to call them. I'll quickly maybe give you a quick overview on how the system works on my Tonka truck here. So a tire pressure monitoring system has a sensor here. This is an industrial sensor made for a large mining vehicle, and they merely screw onto the end of the valve stem to make it simple, easy. One development we made with this version as opposed to an RV version is to make this able to take an impact. So this will take about a 9G impact before it will split. It's pretty hard to break this open now. I can't do it. One demo I usually do at the mine is I put it into their vise or put it into something to hold, and I'll hit it with a hammer. And then I'll put it right back on the truck, and it still works. So this actually senses the pressure in the tire. And this transmits wirelessly from the truck and creates a cloud, a wireless cloud around the truck. And this monitor will be mounted inside the cab for the driver to be able to see. And the monitor will actually display the tire pressure on demand or warn you when a tire goes low or goes high. So if a tire goes low by 12